Persistence is a key to success. You know, I'm assuming that I'm not gonna close the deal on the first call I'm gonna make, but I'm gonna keep trying. Even for these people that would tell me, no, I'm not looking, you're offending me that you're giving me this offer, stop f***ing calling me. Some people will be like that. Don't get intimidated. The job is to stay persistent. Okay, you gotta check it out. This is pretty incredible. This is a multi-family abandoned. You can see that it's look like a junkie house, but it has multiple units. This is a gold mine, and you can already see that there is one house for sale right here. Beautiful. Sorry that you can't see me. Give it a second. If you manage to put at least 2 or 3 families or rent, I don't know how many units are in here, but it looks pretty big and it's boarded up. So it's worth checking. How much does it worth? How much work does it require? Because it's looked like a junky house. Everything is boarded up, but it's pretty good location. It's in the Heights. It's a multi-family, unshined Pearl, or not Pearl, unshined diamond. Because this is a multi-family. You can put multiple people, multiple families in this unit. I don't know how many. I would say at least 4. It looks like the window's open, so I'm not gonna go in because I have no idea who's inside. Hopefully not a few junkies. On the other hand, this house looks like it's haunted. Well, let's take a picture of it. Figure out who owns it. Maybe the Adams family. The way it looks has a disgusting blue on it. This is a very interesting neighborhood. You could see there are a lot of development that's already happening in some of the houses over here. They're absolutely gorgeous. You can see that they're absolutely gorgeous. Some of them are absolutely dumb, trash, like this one. Yeah, I was right. I was looking on the Google Maps and it seems like they blurred his house. So obviously the guy has trust issues and I get it. So let me get out of here before he will start asking me, why are you taking pictures of my property? All right, let's get out of here. All right, so today I'm in the Heights. If you are from Houston, I'm currently in 77009. If you're from Houston or from specifically Houston, you probably know that most of the zip codes in Houston starts in 77. So currently I'm in the Heights. This is the first time I'm recording this kind of video of driving for dollars. So if this is something you're interested in doing, just stay tuned. I'm gonna upload more videos of me driving around looking for properties. So let's begin. Sorry that I'm not looking at you. I'm currently driving, so I can't really look at the camera. But my strategy was start where other wholesalers are going and then go from there. Might be later on I will change the strategy because the goal is basically, you know, to look for distressed properties, the one that's showing neglect. Now, after driving around, this is not the first time I'm doing driving for dollars, but after driving around, realizing that some of the houses might just be ugly. They're not distressed, they're just ugly, and some people live there. So it's worth the shot. Usually what I'm doing when I'm driving around and I see a distressed property, I'm gonna try to mark it, take a picture of it on my phone, mark it on the map, and then back home when I'm in my office, I can retrace back because the picture on my phone actually have a location GPS signature of telling me where did I take this picture. So I'm matching the picture with the address of the house, and that way I can do the analysis of what's the tax appraiser appraising for this house. If it's on the MLS, first of all, that's what I'm checking. A lot of these houses are already listed on the MLS, and it doesn't mean that you can't buy them even if they are on the MLS. Like, even if there is a realtor that representing the owner of the house, it doesn't mean that you can't buy them. So even if the house is already on the MLS, it doesn't mean that you can wholesale the deal. Because some of these houses, they might have a realtor that representing the owner of the house, but you can still send an offer if the numbers works correctly. Like, this is not a good angle. Well, this is the first time I'm doing it. Next time I'll get a GoPro. Okay, it looks like we have a few properties over here. Let me try to pull over because this is a very narrow street. Let me start to pull over and start taking pictures and marking the houses that I feel like they have potential, like this one, for example. Oh man, this is hard. This is harder than I thought. I need to set the camera somewhere because this is becoming unbearable. Okay, so I think I found the first property. You can see that the house has plywood on the windows and on the doors. Now, I don't know if the house is abandoned. I'm not sure, but you know what? It doesn't matter. The house, I'm marking every house that looks ugly or that looks abandoned and neglect, signs of neglect. Like, this is specifically that kind of a distressed property that I'm looking for. So let me take a picture of it. Okay, so after taking a picture of the house, I'm going to mark it on the map. Yeah, 508 Henry Street. You can check it out. It's in Houston. And press save. I already made a list of distressed properties. And there you go. 508 Henry Street. You can look it up and I can send you the picture. The house already has plywoods and it's boarded windows. So it might be a sign for distressed properties or might not. It doesn't matter. It's a numbers game. We're going to try to call every homeowner that we put on the list and try to see if he wants to sell. And if the number's right, we can close the deal. Now there's a house, another house behind me. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to record it. Now this one, I'm not sure that it's actually distress. It's probably just ugly, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to take a picture of it, even from my car. Take a picture of it, put it on the map, trying to skip trace to see the owner, to see who owns it, and try to give him a call or send him a text or send him a postcard. Let's be respectful. I can try to knock on the door, but honestly, I don't know if I even have an actual tangible offer to give him right now. So I would need to run the tax appraising, and it's looked like he has cameras on there, so might be someone living there. So I think the best bet is to try to call the person to do the skip trace, try to call the person, try to see if he wants to sell, and if he does, or at least give him some kind of an estimate of an offer, how much I can give him for. And some people, I'm assuming they would say, no, I'm not looking to sell. Yeah, I'm living in a dump, as you can see. It's kind of dump, but he's fine with that. Here's another example of a house that probably already been renovated and is going through a flip. As you can see, the house is beautiful and it's for sale. As a sign in the front yard. Now it could be that it's still worth flipping, but this is not what I'm looking for. This has already been through a flip, so I'm not looking to put it on the distressed properties because obviously it's not distressed. On the other hand, I can see another house over there and another one over here that looks a little ugly. So it could be distressed, could be just ugly. And you know what? As I said, doesn't matter. I'll put them on the map, I'll take a picture, I'll do a script trace, and I'll try to call them to see if they want to sell. Again, it's a numbers game. So some people will say yes. Some people say, F you, I don't want to hear from you. Stop annoying me. That's part of business. You know, you got to take care of it. You got to take in consideration that it's going to happen. Some people will be eager to sell you their house because they know they live in a dump, or they just inherited and they don't want it. And some people will say, no, not interested. I know I live in a dump. I don't care. Now, it seems there are several properties. You can see the one behind me. This looks like it's about to collapse. The roof is almost crumbling. So it might be for sale. I'm not sure. But it's worth trying to give the owner a call and see if they want to sell. So these houses, it might be that someone still lives there, but I don't know if it's living condition. So it's worth the shot. Try to call them and see, hey, do you want to get out of this dump? Do you want to actually find yourself a nice house? I don't know. Well, let me try to move faster because I feel like I'm wasting time every time I'm stopping and looking at you guys. So let me work. As soon as I get to a stopping point, I'm going to record and we can continue talking. Another thing I would have done, the house I just noticed that's for sale, maybe it's worth to check on the MLS how much they want for it, or what's the price of the houses that were sold in this community, to figure out what's the ARV, what's the after repair value. That way, even if I will find a property that is for sale, I'm sorry that I'm backing up and I'm not looking at you. The point of finding the ARV is to know estimately, like, let me show you. Look at this house, for example. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty nice. You could see that this house, for example, is fully renovated. It's fully renovated and it's already ready to set. You just need to occupy it. So after renovation, this is how much the house will be worth. That's what we're looking to see. How much would the house is currently valued, tax valued under, and how much would it be valued after repairs? And that way we know if the number is gonna work out. Okay, you gotta check it out. This is pretty incredible. This is a multi-family abandoned. You can see that it's look like a junkie house, but it has multiple units. This is a gold mine. If I'll be able to lock on this one, it will be worth a lot of money, especially because it's a multi-family. And you can already see that there is one house for sale right here. Beautiful. Worth to check how much they want for that one. But this is the gold mine. This is worth, if you fix this one and you manage to put at least, sorry that you can't see me, give it a second. If you manage to put at least 2 or 3 families or rent, I don't know how many units are in here, but it looks pretty big and it's boarded up. So it's worth checking how much does it worth, how much work does it require, because it's look like a junkie house. Everything is boarded up, but it's pretty good location. It's in the Heights. It's a multi-family. So this is really unshined pearl, or not pearl, unshined diamond, you would call it that way, because this is a multi-family. You can put multiple people, multiple families in this unit, and it's gonna be worth a lot of money. I don't know how many. I would say at least 4, but again, I might be wrong, I might be right, I don't know. And it looks like the window's open, so I'm not gonna go in because I have no idea who's inside. Hopefully not a few junkies. But all right, let's get out of here. Guys, I'm driving around this neighborhood and look at these gorgeous houses. Look at that. These houses, it seems like they've been through some good amount of renovation. That some of them, the trashy one that I showed you, people are taking them. Oh, I see another one right there. People are taking them, fixing them. Here, another one, sell by owner. Oh, that's amazing. And it looks like it's already renovated. You can see. Amazing. Marines. Flag of the Marines. So even if it's a dump of a house, this is a good area. Oh, I already marked that one. Oh, let me go back. Yeah. Even if it's a dump of an area, if you take this house and you marked it and you decide, okay, we're gonna fix it and then we're gonna flip it. Look at this gorgeous house. Look at that. We're gonna fix it and then we can sell it, because this is a hot area. It's been hot for a long time, but I know a lot of young people around my age, they're looking to move. And these houses are fairly small, but because it's a area with a lot of bars, a lot of nightlife. All right, let's continue. Okay, so after driving for 10-15 minutes in this neighborhood, this is a very interesting neighborhood. You could see there are a lot of development that's already happening. What the? And some of the houses over here, they're absolutely gorgeous. You can see that they're absolutely gorgeous. Some of them are absolutely dump, a trash, like this one. It says beware of the dog. Maybe I'll need to move. Let me try to go from a different angle. So this is just proving if there's some development in the neighborhood that you know that people are moving in and some of them are just totally trash, this is a good sign. It's a good sign because some of these people who have these old rusty houses, if they're convinced to sell, you can make good money. This doesn't look like it's abandoned. It still look like a dump. You see? This doesn't look like it's abandoned, but it still look like a dump. So I wouldn't, because people are living there. So I wouldn't try to pursue them. What does it say? Commercial, residential. Here you go. Check this out. Let me step outside. Right next to the freeway, so you might not hear me well. Okay, after the camera was reset, as you can see behind me, there's a sign for sale. Commercial residential property, 65 square foot. They want, yeah, it's kind of stupid. They want $497,700. I don't know, I feel like a little bit overpriced for this much property. But if you're interested, let me know. But $500,000 for not even an acre, half an acre. Actually, it might not even be a whole acre. It says 6,300 square foot. So this seems a bit much. Okay, so after driving for a little bit, I could sense there's a very strong indicator from this neighborhood. It's worth pursuing a deal in this neighborhood because there are a lot of constructions that keep going on in here. So it's totally worth it if I will find a property for sale and they would want to sell it for, I don't know if cheap, because I'm assuming most of the houses, because it's a, you heard the sign of the empty lot, they want $500,000 for this 6,300 square foot. Now I can see there are other houses over here. They're really beautiful. Some of them are just ugly. Some of them are crumbling. But you could sense that this neighborhood has something different about it. You can see that some of the houses, oh, try to go the other way. Some of the houses over here are really beautiful and some of them are really crummy. Now they might be old, but you can see that even the older houses, they're still very, very beautiful, very well maintained. And I feel like there's a lot of potential over here. Now again, I don't know how many of these people, like I could see this house behind me, I could see that someone lives here. So I'm gonna mark, I'm not gonna take a picture because I don't want to be nosy, but I'm gonna mark the address on my phone. As you can see, I'm doing it on my Google Maps. I don't have a deal machine yet. Yeah, it's the orange house behind me. So just want to make sure that Google Maps has a picture of the house. When I'm putting a pin on the map, I want to make sure that I'm pinning the right house. Now it's look like the house right next door is also might be distressed. So I'm gonna mark that too. And if I see there are people who live here, I rather not take a picture of it. Sometimes I do. It all depends on the mood. But sometimes if people see you taking a picture and they're in the house, because they might be in the house. So sometimes when people see you taking a picture, they might not like it. I already had one encounter with a guy who did not like the fact that I took a picture of his house. And that's fine. You know, sometimes Google Maps already took cover of it and they already have the information that you need in terms of the picture. You want to make sure that the seller actually wants to sell. Some of these houses are really beautiful and some of them are really ugly. But let me point the picture outward. This is beautiful. This is a townhouse. Beautiful. Gorgeous. This is a small boutique house. I don't know if you can see, but it's beautiful. So there is a lot of potential in this neighborhood, and it's fairly large. Seems like they built several townhouses over here, and there seems like there is a lot of opportunity for distressed properties too. So let me take a picture of this one, and I'll be right with you. My strategy of looking for properties was fairly simple. I'm looking where the other wholesaler, pointing out the foreclosed deal or off-market deals, the one I'm getting from Triola or from other marketers. And if I notice several properties, they're already for sale in certain zip code, let me go there. If there are several properties they already put foreclosed in this area, that means that there are more in there. Usually that's the case. So as I can see, this was a pretty good hit. I could see that this neighborhood specifically has a lot of potentials, because some of the houses they're already renovated, they're very beautiful, and some of the houses they're not renovated, they look like a dump. So I don't know if the pricing of the land is actually reflecting the reality. Like this, for example, I can see that someone lives here because they have a lawnmower, but the house looked like a dump. So I'm not gonna take a picture of it, I'm just gonna mark the address. So my strategy is fairly simple: to look where the other people are looking, and then start scouting around that neighborhood, look for more opportunities. Like this house is beautiful. You can see that they put a lot of effort into that house. You can see that too. On the other hand, this house looked like it's haunted. Well, let's take a picture of it and figure out who owns it. Maybe the Addams family. The way it looks has a disgusting blue on it. I wouldn't be surprised. But on the other hand, you can see that the deck is actually new. So it could be that this house is under renovation. It looks like New Orleans style. And it doesn't look like it's occupied. I hope not. It might be occupied by ghosts. Let me open the window. Take a quick picture of it and mark it on the map. If you see a ghost, let me know. Which one is it? 410, yes. 410 Gargan Street. As I said, right now I'm scouting the 77009, Houston, Texas, the Heights. So this is shot in the dark. I don't know who lives here. If anybody lives here, I hope not. This does not look like a living condition because the house is sitting on bricks. But you can see that there are properties. This, for example, this is just ugly. Might not be distressed. On the other hand, this is gorgeous. You could see that this is already renovated. This one as well. This one, on the other hand, is not as distressed. So I feel like it's a miss. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes you can find these properties like this one. You can already see that it's under construction. They put a new deck, a new porch, a new stairs. So I'm not gonna waste my time on that because I feel like this house has already been taken care of. There's nothing to do in here. The one I'm looking for are the one that either nobody lives in there, or if somebody lives in there, he might want to get rid of it because it's just too much of a hassle. These are the houses I'm looking for. The houses that looks haunted, looks ghosted, or as they call them on A&E, zombie houses. these kind of houses, that's what I'm looking for. Let me cross this road. My strategy is fairly simple, and I might change it later on. This is what I'm going. I'm going by what's my competition. That was my strategy when I had a towing company. Just looking what's my strategy, what my competitors are doing, and do something similar to them. Opa, that's a good one. Here, I found another ghost town, another ghost house. If you look closely, you can see right behind that black car, there's a house that the windows are boarded. This is a sign for distressed property. So I'm gonna take a picture of it, put it on the map until I'm gonna get the deal machine. Right now I feel like deal machine is fairly expensive. I mean, it's not as expensive, but the fact that you have to pay for subscription, and I have not put any money yet. I mean, I did not earn any money yet from any deals I closed. I feel like I should do it maybe later on. But could be that I'm wrong. Could be that the opposite is right. You should invest money. That way you feel more pot committed, as we call it in blackjack. You feel more pot committed, so you be more eager to close deals. But in the beginning, I'm just going to mark them on the Google Maps, take a picture, and try to do skip tracing to locate it, who owns this house, and how much they want for it. And that way I can evaluate how much I can offer them. Because it seems like this area is good. It feels like it's good investment. I don't know how much work needs to be done. It might be a teardown. I don't think so, but it's worth the shot. Guys, you gotta look at this house. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to move it. But this house specifically, you can see that something is wrong with the foundation. The whole house is look crooked. I think this is a great opportunity. But again, I don't know, because it seems like somebody lives there. There are flags and toys, but again, some people are okay living in a dump. Like this house next to me, it's okay. It's ugly, but it's not like crazy to a point that it's not livable. You see what I'm saying? With this one, this looked like a safety hazard. So I can try to reach the owner of the house, see if they want to sell it, but they might say no. So all I can do is just follow up with them, see when do they want to sell it, because this is obviously not safe to live like that. Check this out. This house specifically, I can see it has a for sale sign. It has a for sale sign, so I know they want to sell. I don't know if it's on the MLS, but it's worth checking, because you can totally see it's distressed. I don't know how much they want to sell it for, but obviously they already hired somebody, a realtor, to sell the property for them. Now I don't know who exactly is behind that sign, but it's worth looking for it. If it is on the MLS, the chances of me closing on the deal is closer, because as soon as it hits the MLS, there are a lot of people, especially if the price is lower than the average market, all of the investors are going to flock on it. There are a lot of people who are looking for wholesale deals on the MLS. So if it's already on the MLS, I'm going to check it when I get home. But if it's already on the MLS, the chances of finding a deal on it, it's really hard. I'm trying to contact a realtor that has a deal in LaPorte, Texas, and the house is fairly cheap, lower than the average market. But the problem is the realtor is not answering the phone. She's not picking up. She's not answering. Her voicemail is totally jam-packed, and she's like unreachable. You can't get to her. So in this point, I think the only other option is to try to reach the owner of the house and see if they're still interested in selling, if their realtor didn't fulfill the mission and actually close on the deal, because it's looked like it's still active. So I'm going to do the same process with this property behind me. I'm going to lock the address, look on the MLS, see if it is on the MLS. If it is, see how much they want for it, And if all the numbers are aligned, I'm going to try to contact the realtor and see if we can close the deal. But again, if it's on the MLS, I don't know how long it's on the MLS. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. If it's not, maybe there's something to talk about. But if it's not on the MLS, it could be that it's already was sold to an investor and it's just a matter of getting to work on the property. Following up with this property, see where it's standing, what's the condition, how much they want. It's worth pursuing it. Just digging into what's the story behind that property and if there's any deal to make. So after a short review on Google Maps for that property I just showed you, I just found out that this property, the picture on the Google map already has a for sale sign. So it might not be new. Well, I'm gonna keep digging more into that property, figure out what's the story of it, and I'll keep you posted. You see the place behind me? Does it look like a tire shop? This is a speakeasy bar. It's called Rabbit Got a Gun. If you go behind the tire shop, you'll find a bar active at night. So that's what's beautiful about this neighborhood. That as much as it looked like a trashy place, they have a lot of lifestyle over here. And you can see that some of these houses, they're just gorgeous. Gorgeous. This, for example, this is amazing. Look what they did. The house is still old, but it just looks amazing because they renovated it. So there is a lot of potential. I'm sorry that I'm very enthusiastic. Oh, I found another one. Check this out. Oh. You can see this is clearly distress. Let me walk outside. Okay, I'm going to cut you off right now because the camera is going to go nuts on me. Okay, this is absolutely gorgeous. You have two lots. This property and the one right next to it, they both have boarded windows and boarded doors. Obviously, the owners has a camera on the property because I'm assuming a few junkies got in and decided to settle in. So he boarded the windows and he boarded the doors and he blocked everything. And that's a clear sign that nobody lives there. This is perfect. And both of them are right next to each other. So it might be the owner. I don't know if it's the same owner for both of them, but it's worth pursuing because this is a golden opportunity. If the seller will be able to sell both of them for a good price, you can make one big lot and big enormous townhouse or something. This, I'm gonna follow up with that. I marked both of them on the map and I'm gonna see what's the deal with that. I want you to take a look at that. I don't know if you can see. This property says 2005. It's not, I don't know if it's distress or it's just ugly. Same thing with right next to it. Could be that somebody lives there. I can see that they have the wind chimes and they have some stuff on the balcony. Yeah, you'll be surprised how people live. Some of these people just live under totally disastrous condition. On the other hand, right next to it, the 2009 house, you could see that it's normal living condition. Let me go forward so you can see it. So it's very confusing sometimes to try to figure out if these people are looking to sell or they're just fine living in a dump place. You see, this is looking fine. And it's looked like the owner of this house, it just showed up because it says for rent on it. I'm not going to bother him because I'm not looking to rent. See, I already passed by several houses that just looks ugly. I'm assuming that people live there, but this is not my target market. I'm not looking for ugly houses. I'm looking, another for sale lot. Again, I can check it out if it's on the MLS. This might be abandoned, the one that right next to me. So I'm gonna pursue that one. Let me take a few, although I see the sign that says packages, they probably want them in the back. So it could be that somebody lives there. But again, it's worth pursuing to see if the guy wants to sell. If not, no biggie. You know, the point is to find somebody who wants to get out of the property. Some of these people are fine living in these conditions. Some of them just looking for somebody to give them an offer. So why not? Give it a shot. What's the worst you can do? You know, worst case you'll say, "Oh, this is disgraceful. Why you offer me such a lowball offer?" It's like, at least I'm offering you something, right? So I don't know if somebody lives there. I see there are 2 doors, but I don't think it's a duplex. So I'm going to take a few pictures of it. I'm going to mark it on a map, and I'm going to pursue it via either text or a phone number. I don't know if anybody lives there, and it says private property. So I'm assuming the guy doesn't want to be bothered. Yeah, I was right. I was looking on the Google Maps, and it seems like they blurred his house. So obviously the guy has trust issues, and I get it. So let me get out of here before he will start asking me, "Why are you taking pictures of my property?" Oh, this is a dump. This is obviously a dump. Let me take a left and see if anybody lives here, or is it totally distressed. I'm gonna take a picture of it, because this seems like nobody lives here. And I can already see that somebody, if you look closely, you see that somebody left some kind of an offer or something. I don't know. But I don't believe that I should eliminate my competition. Competition is good. If I see something like that, I don't touch it. I don't touch it because I truly believe that I can use my competition. We can all work together. So let me take a picture of it. I'll be right back. You see, my take on competition is not bad. If there is competition, there is demand. There's going to be competition in every field that there is money to make. I was in the towing business for almost 10 years. And there was competition all around me. And it doesn't mean that if you have competition, you need to eliminate them. No. If you ever go for a jog and you see a jogger right in front of you running, and you get close to him, even if you're technically not running faster, you're running maybe a little bit faster than him. When you get to the point that you're almost gonna meet his speed, you are immediately gonna increase your speed and try to pass him, because this is how you do it. So you pass him, and then he passes you, and then you pass him, and then he passes you, and you pass him, and before you know it, the jog is over, the race is over. When we have competition, we basically pushing ourselves to be better, to excel in what we do. So I don't see a competition as a bad thing. I know there are a lot more wholesalers and much more experienced wholesale companies that has a lot more resource than me. They have a lot more money. They have a lot more people that work for them. They sending postcards or mailers, and they have a lot more resource to do that. I'm starting from the bottom. I'm not trying to compete with these guys. What I'm trying to do is start from the bottom, close 1, 2 deals, start making money, and then I'll put more effort into growing the company. And if I can use their help to close on deals for my investors, I don't see it as something bad. When I had a towing company, one of my former boss, that when I told him I'm going to open another competitor company for your company, he didn't tell me like, "Oh, you can't do that, it's wrong." It's like, you know what he did? We worked together. Deals that I could not take because I was busy, because I had too much on my head, because whatever, my truck broke down, I sent it to him. Deals that he could not take because he was busy or his truck was down, he sent to me. Or something that requires different kind of specialty. So I feel like it's not a bad thing to use competition for your advantage. We all in the same field. We should use each other's help to excel in our field. And that's why when I see competition, for me, I'm not going to take their card off because, I want to eliminate my competition. This is not how you eliminate your competition. If I'll try to work with them, and if I have a deal and I'm not sure how to close it, and I give them a call and say, "Hey, I need help," and they help me, they earn commission out of this deal. I'm earning my commission out of this deal. The seller is happy. The buyer is happy. Everybody's happy. So the way I see it is competition is a good thing. Instead of trying to hurt your competitors, trying to work with them. Times that I'm not sure if the property is distressed or just ugly, I'm putting on the listing on my Google Maps. Later on, when I'll use Dream Deal Machine, I'll put a note that says maybe. Because honestly, I'm not sure if whoever lives in the house fine with the living condition, wants to get rid of it, or it's actually, he's fine with that, and he's like, no, I don't want to sell. And we need to keep follow up with these people, because some of them are hoarders, some of them have a hard time. So it might be then someday he will change his mind and say, you know what, sure, I'll take your offer. So you gotta stay persistent. Even if you're not sure if this guy wants to get rid of his house, even if he's keep hanging on you and keep saying, I don't want any offers, I'm not looking to sell, who knows, maybe in 2 years when the interest rate will go down, he might say, you know what, I lost my job, I need some money, I'll take your offer. You never know. So after driving around this zip code 77009, I found tons of distressed properties. And I feel like you throw a rock over there and you find distressed property. So even if you don't want to spend your time and gas driving around looking for specific properties to target, some areas, if you just do a mailer, if you just focus on this specific zip code and you start calling around, you start sending emails, you sending text messages, you're going to find something. Even if you didn't specifically target distressed properties. The key is to stay persistent. You don't know what's the story. Maybe they bought it a long time ago when it was really cheap. Maybe they inherited it from somebody. Maybe they just got to a point they're retired and they don't want to keep investing more money into that property. I don't know the situation, and I'm assuming that most of them, if I call them and say, hey, do you want to sell? They might say, no, I'm not looking to sell. So I feel like I also need to give them an offer. Maybe it's going to lure them into actually sell. And even if they will say no, and I'm expecting a lot of people to say no, I'm not looking to sell. Even if they will say no, I'm going to keep following with them in like 2-3 months. Because you want to keep them in their mind in case, and give them a number. In case they change their mind, they talk to their wife, they talk to their husband, the bank is stressing them and they need cash right now. They think about it too much, they might go with you. They might take the offer. So you got to stay persistent. Persistence is a key to success. I'm assuming that I'm not going to close the deal on the first call I'm going to make. But I'm going to keep trying. Even for these people that would tell me, no, I'm not looking, you're offending me that you're giving me this offer, stop f***ing calling me. Some people will be like that. Don't get intimidated. The job is to stay persistent. You find an area that you feel like it has a lot of potential, stick to it. Keep calling the people. Keep driving around. Keep looking for distressed properties. If you don't want to drive around and you have budget, send mailers, blast texting. You'll find somebody that will say, sure, I want to sell my house. How much do you offer? Some people would not even want to listen. As soon as you tell them like, hey, I want to sell my... They're not even going to give you 10 seconds. They probably may not going to even pick up the phone. You don't know. All you got to do is try. You got to stay persistent. It's a numbers game. The more you try, the better chances you have of succeeding. So, if you want to succeed, stay persistent. Keep calling. Keep being a nudge. Keep being a leech on their neck. And they will eventually, somebody will tell you, okay, how much? Try to also send, I heard in the podcast of Driving for Dollars by Zach Booth, that he was talking to somebody who actually sent prospect the contract already set, and they didn't even call him back. They just signed the contract and sent it directly, meaning they were that distressed that they agreed to the offer without even talking to the seller. They just signed the contract and let go. So some of these properties, I'm not saying it's 100% for sure it's going to happen. Probably not. The cases of someone who's going to sell you his house without even knowing you or talking to you over the phone is probably rare. But I suggest keep trying. Keep trying to call these people. Keep trying to text them, send them postcards, remind them that you're there and you have your offer on the table. And the more persistent you be, the more you scan the area, the more you keep bugging these people. I know it's probably going to be annoying, but you know what? That's the key to success. If you want to be successful, you got to be annoying. That's how it is. That's how I learned. I'm Israeli, so I got the Israeli chutzpah. But even if you don't have it within you, find it within you. Find a way to stay persistent. Even if they tell you, no, I don't want to sell, stop calling me. Guess what? Collection agency gonna keep calling you every 2 weeks. So you don't have to do it every 2 weeks. But I suggest try to call them at least like once a quarter, twice a quarter. That's it. You have a lot of prospects to go through. So even if one said no, maybe next month he will say yes. Just tell him, keep me in mind. You know, if you change your mind, give us a call, send us an email. We're here to listen. And I feel like 90% of success in this business is stay persistent. The more you try, the more you succeed. Good luck, my friends.